kiraba kisege naye wano omwana bakimanyi mboba kiki oba kiki ku lunaku luno akawunti egenda kwenye kyekiri ku zino ttiimu eno KCCA ne Bull.
Eranga omwetolo guno namba 17 olunaku olwaleero gutulese ku kisaawe kino ekya Arena of Visions wano Endeje University, ettiimu emu ku ezo z'osuubira okubeera nga zivuganyiza ddala ennyo ku kikopo sizoni eno we zigenda okubeera nga zittunkira. Ntegeeza ttiimu eya KCCA FC gy'olengera abawagizi baayo abo batonotono abasobodde okubeera ab'omukiza okuggyako ku kisaawe kino okulaba embeera nga bwene batambulira nate olunaku olwaleero nga bajja okuttunka ne abawooza ab'omusolo aba ttiimu eya URA bannyini kisaawe. Tulengera abasambi aba ttiimu ya KCCA FC wamu ne ba match officials ab'olunaku olwaleero be basooseeyo. Jjukira nti ennaku zino ennyiri tezikyajja bbiribbiri olw'embeera y'ekyagwa mu nsi ekirwadde ekyo ekya COVID. Ladies and gentlemen, Star Times Uganda Premier League is back and back in a big way, back with a bang. Oluvannyuma lw'ennyonta ebaddewo ey'okuwa ekikopo kiri ekya Stanbic Uganda Cup omwaganya okusobola okubeera nga nakyo kisambibwa. Ttiimu zombi zaayitawo kugenda ku luddannya oluddako era ye ttiimu eya URA yasobola okuttunka ne ttiimu ya Mbarara City era URA nesobola okubeera nga yayitawo ate ttiimu ya KCCA FC neyita ku Nyamityobola goozaali 5-2. Ekyo kyali kikopo kirala nnyo olwaleero ate obuufu tubuleese mu kino ekikopo ekya Star Times Uganda Premier League. Tulabe ate ani yaani. Ettiimu zombi tezijja kwekwasa mbeera ate nga URA tennafuna protoko yaleeta mpira hadde bagumiitinze wano ate Dennis Iguma ne Goodire yagulese Julius Poloto we batomedde omupiira. What a chance! Open Chan Herbert n'atomera omupiira ne gubeera nga bwe gutyo gugenze bugenzi bweru mujjukira okugulawo okuteeba wansi wa Rain eyamola ebyekwanso ng'ayita mu fomati y'emu ya mutwe bwe baali bafuba ttiimu eya Bull FC Gozi 3 ku bwereere. Beka Kigongo nga tolekerera dakika ey'ekkumi
nagambye nti mola ebyekwaso ye yasobola okufuna obudde okusoma Ssimbwa yakivula.
Welcome to the show. This is episode 5 of the URA FC Plug, and once again I come with a smile because we are in a very rich vein of form that was a little bit interrupted by that team in red that I've come to love to hate. But with me on set is a dynamic duo. I have a guy on the left and a gentleman on the right, and of course introduce the guy on the left first, and that is none other than the man himself, Patrick Ocheng, aka Pato, Mr. URFC, Mr. PR. Pato, welcome to your show.
Thank you.
I like the smile, man.
The smile is probably sponsored by the win against KCCA.
Without
so you can tell.
Without a doubt. We needed to beat those guys.
I know.
It's a win we needed, and it's a win we secured.
Yeah, we needed to redeem ourselves as a team because if you're a team that has title aspirations, you cannot afford to sleep at such a moment, more so when your competitor who is up front is winning games. And also, a win against a team like KCCA is a very big extra motivation for the team, players, and everyone associated with the club. It's a huge statement. Without a doubt.
We are going to get a little bit more into that later, but let us first introduce the guy that we have with us, our guest of the day, Allan Munaaba, 3-time UPL champion. He's a man who knows a thing or two about lifting the league trophy with his team, because he's one of the few players who lifted the league trophy with URFC, and he's still working very closely with the club, and today he joins us to help us capture that moment. What is happening in the dressing room right now, where we are in that space where the belief is very high, and even the results on the pitch are matching with the belief. So he will help us understand, because he's been in such a situation before, and he's one guy who is able to, tell you what needs to be done and what doesn't need to be done. Allan, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Say hello to the viewers.
Well, I will concur with Patrick. I'm really grateful for this moment, and I'm so happy coming from the win against KCCA. And I believe as URA, we're going to race to the top. Like you've talked about that moment, being there, it's really tight. But right through the URA values, especially the one of excellence, it's one we focus on and try to contain the pressure. Because of course we believe we're the best. And that was shown by the fact that we imposed authority against KCCA.
We taxed the guys.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So Allan is going to help us understand the stakes, because they are high. Okay, so many teams are up there, and all of them want to have a bite of the trophy this season. And of course, we have put our foot down, and this time, quite differently from the past couple of seasons, we are saying we need to be in this. Patrick,
Yes.
how are you feeling right now? Where are you, headspace wise? When you look at the team and what the boys are, able to do, the season has resumed. Couple of games in, we still have a couple of games to go, and the boys are showing that they've not dropped the level that they were at in the opening sequence of the season. What do you take away from all of this?
For me, I think it's mixed feeling. If you look at the opening game of the second round of the season, that 3-1 loss against Express FC. Actually, Express is the first team that I won't say first, it's the only team that is going to get a double against URA Football Club, because it's the only team that we lost to in the first round. Meaning, if there is any team that will beat us in the second round, it will be the first time they are beating us this season, and the only time. Having lost to Express, by the way, a game that pained almost everyone in the club, because halftime was 3-0. That has never happened.
That game hurt me, man.
Even last season,
I went into that game with so many expectations.
Even last season, the most that URA conceded as a team from an opponent was 2 goals. It was never more than 2. And it was always 2-2, maybe 3-2. But this time around, we were 3-0 at halftime. I don't recall that score ever happening, ever since I joined URA. I would not lie. But you see, when you sit back and analyze the game more, you understand, because we went into that game with one central defender and the rest were out injured, forcing the coach to actually use a midfielder as a defender. So you would want to say maybe the coach was forced to change his tactics, but also that is not an excuse, because you can have a full team like it happened in the first round and still be beaten. So for me, I just want to think this is how URA is. Like I always tell my friends, people around me, it is something that we need to work on. URA Football Club never performs when it's from a recess. Whenever we have a break, whenever the boys have rested for some good time, the spark is not there. Looking at the opening match of the season, the 1-1 draw we had against Mbarara City, we could have easily scored 3 goals, but we ended up drawing 1-1. Then after that, we had a break, the January break for the politics, elections. We came back, and our first opponent was Express Football Club. We lost 1-0. Then after that, we had a very good run of games. Then we again had a break of the season, going into the second round. Unfortunately, the next opponent for us to face was again Express FC after a break like last time, and we again lost 3-0. But the boys really redeemed themselves, because what was coming next after that was the Stanbic Uganda Cup, which we managed, of course, to go to the round of 16, beating Mbarara City for the first time in history, 1-0 at their home, because most of the games we have had with them are always draws. Though we have ever lost to them, it was a Pilsner Super 8 match. That is the one we've lost, so it may not be that competitive. So, but we are into the last 16. or someone would say the round of 16 in the Standard Uganda Cup. Then now, a game that we played recently on Tuesday against KCCA, thrashing them as per the norm, because I was looking at our statistics in the last 5 games against KCCA Football Club. They have only managed to register 1 draw, and URA has gone ahead to win 4 of those 5 games. So it really shows you that URA, when it comes to playing KCCA, it always comes up on top.
That is, you've really painted the picture, and I just want to ask, to pose the question now to Allan, because he's been there, man. He's been there, he's done that, and I just want to ask Allan, looking at this game that Patrick, of course, broke down very well. He described all the semantics around it. What do you think we should have done differently, considering even the circumstances that we were in, where we, were short in defense? Our mainstream defenders, our out-and-out defenders, were not readily available, and we had to make do with, midfielders in there. Do you think we could have done something differently to get a different result from that game than the 3-1? Do you think it could have been down to the confidence of having, got a result against us in the opening season, that Express came in knowing that if we put up a good show, we're able to get a result against these guys? What do you think we could have done differently?
Well, not really that much, because like you said, whenever we come from a break, we've been having issues with that. That was one factor. Then again, actually Express has taken a double over us. But like they say, win one, lose one. That's the stand of a champion. I mean, we've lost that because it caught us really on a bad stand. We didn't have good defenders for that moment, so that moment is gone. And good enough, we put our heads up high and tackled KCCA. And so we are still on the road. Because speaking now, as a player right now, my thoughts would move from the past, because Express is in the past, and the joy of KCCA is in the past. My thoughts would now focus on goal, because it's a final that is like no other. That is how it was, because the league is a marathon. You take one at a time. So now, we may talk of the title, that's just title talk, but right now, focus.
The focus is on Bull FC.
Mental resilience and Bull FC, because that is the next piece of news we will have. KCCA is gone, Express is gone. Those are lessons learned. So the joy of KCCA will be felt at the very end, when the ultimatum goal is achieved.
Looking at the table right now, it's tight at the top, yeah?
Yeah.
We are caught up in a situation where there are some 3 teams that are really trying to open it up and run away with it. We have Vipers, who are just above us by Giddy goal difference. We are seeing them, but they are right above us by goal difference. They score quite a bit more than we do. Something that we really need to work on. Then, of course, then there's us. Then there's the team that I'm starting to hate this season, Express, for all the right reasons. They are also somewhere in there. We are in it. What do you think at this point in time needs to be done, especially going into that game against Bull, which is a bit of a boggy side when it comes to, URA FC? What do we need to do going into that game to, get a result that is going to keep us up there, if not to help us leapfrog? Because I know these other teams that are in and around us that they're going to play are also not easy teams. Actually, it is very difficult to find an easy team to beat in this UPL right now. So what do you think needs to be done to help us, get back on top? Because
for me, I think
I miss being on the top.
URA Football Club is a team that has its own style of play, I would say. For us, scoring many goals has never been part of URA Football Club.
That's never been our problem.
It has never been our problem, and we don't pride in scoring many goals, for as far as I know, URA Football Club. And I think for us right now is to play our football, to play the football that we played in the first round, because this is tight. If you look at the first round, how it was, the first round ended and we were just 3 points above Vipers. So that shows you how much it was tight in the first round. So what we need to do is to carry our first round football to second round football, and of course not forgetting prayers. Which prayers do I mean? there is no way we are going to win the title if Vipers is not dropping points. So as we are winning our games, this is the time now to pray for the opponent to also do what? To lose, because we were at the same point with them now before we played them. We are tied on points. We beat them up and we went to 3 points up. They made their prayers, we dropped. They capitalized on that. So as much as we are winning our own games, the competitor on top must also be dropping points. If they do not drop points, then we are doomed. I'm telling you the fact.
We need to put in, we need to put in some negative prayers.
Yes, that is it. Because to be a champion, you need
a bit of luck.
Your people down there to lose. Because if you all win, then imagine you all win the games and Vipers also wins. Now we go to goal difference. Of course, they will beat us at that. So the only thing we need to do, as we are praying for our team to keep up the form that we are in, we should also pray for the one on top
the opponents
to drop some points. And also, like I told you, we don't pride in scoring very many goals. That has never been us. What URA Football Club is known for is having a good defense. We let in very little goals. We don't let in a number of goals. That's why everyone was shocked when Express was 3-up against us at halftime. Everyone was like, this cannot be something was team.
It was strange.
Yes, it was strange. So let us get the 1 goal, the 2 goals, if need be, and hold it up there, because that is us.
Patrick is advocating for pragmatic football.
That's what we play.
Mukube Duka.
Get your 1 goal. If it needs throwing your legs on the line, do it, secure the 3 points. Right now, we do not want the goals.
I like that, Patrick.
Right now, let's first collect the points. The goals will sort out themselves later on.
It's called securing the W.
Yes, right now, because we've seen the season Leicester City, an example, won the English Premier League. It reached a point and they were winning 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Even Man City recently, we saw it winning 1-0, 1-0. So at point reaches when what you're looking at is much more important than the goal score. When the goals come in, well and good. Of course, we would also love to celebrate beating someone 6, thumping someone 8. But if it's not there, the main core thing we need right now are 3 points for each match that we go into.
Fantastic. I can't add a word to what you just submitted. Pragmatic football wins you championships. Is this something you concur with, Allan?
Yeah, I do concur with him, though to add on the part of winning, there's that invisible hand that Vipers has in terms of goals. Much as we don't pride in scoring goals like he said, but we need now to also push for that, because by now if we'd have more goals, we'd be on the top. We are on the top by virtue of goal difference. All of the rest are losses, the wins are identical, but the GD is our difference as well as the points. But yet again, there's also that clash between us and them. So we also have to decide which team is the best at that. But during the run-in, as maybe we pray for them to lose points, we have to win our games. And that is how it is. And even right at this moment, like we would have that team talk within, those tense moments. But 13 games to go for now. We would start talking title talk 7-2, because then we would know. We'd cut them down. But after facing one by one, they now beat ball, wait for the rest of the results. But try to beat them now with goals, because Vipers is leading courtesy of GD. And when I look at this season, still the 3-horse race that was there in 2012-2013, Vipers Express URA was really tight. We went up to the last day. The other one was decided by Points Express, Money 2, emerged champions. But looking at the aspect of goal difference, where it dates back to 2009 final, URA KCCA, the battle of the authorities. Of course, URA came out on top.
We taxed everybody.
Yeah, and that cold evening in Nambole really had to burn our hearts out, because they needed a win, a must win. We only needed a draw, because we were equal in points, but we had a better goal difference. So now you can see, let the past, we reflect the past, try to push on what Patrick has said, winning, but now with extra goals. Yeah, though the focus is one step.
Secure the wins,
yes,
but ensure that you also get the goals in.
Exactly.
Because it could go down to the wire.
Yeah.
It could go down to the wire.
So we need to start by frying Bidco tomorrow with their 14 Bluto and watch them with their magic soap because we tax everyone across the country. Yeah.
I really like that, but I don't think.
That's the game. That's the game. You don't need.
If
The opponent never likes what you give them.
If we are going in there to, fry them with their fortune buto and then wash them with their own magic soap,
Yeah, because we tax them.
it's
We
gonna
tax
be
everyone.
crazy. Then on top of that, we tax them. Full assessment.
Yeah.
I like the banter.
Yeah.
Alan, still speaking about title talk, you've won it 3 times.
Yes.
You won it in 9, you won it in 11, you won it in 7. Which one is the most memorable? Especially when it comes to, that winning feeling. That time when you win something and you're like, yo, I won this. Which one comes back to you most?
2009.
Why?
Against KCCA. Because it was one that was down to the wire. It was the final game of the season. All eyes were focused on us. And the late Dennis Ssimbwa was to award the trophy. And it was so dramatic because I was on the bench. I was a young player by then. And the trophy was right behind us. So when KCCA scored first,
You looked at it.
yeah, they kept now shifting the table towards the KCCA bench. And we were like, we are losing out on the final day.
That was
And
dramatic.
remember, the worst part is, you miss out on medals. The champion takes the medals. Runners up, none. So, and funny enough, as time was rolling on, this guys deflated the balls, sorry. They put pressure out of the balls so they could kill off the game. And I don't know if it was just like a magical moment. So identical that Sam Mubiru for KCCA scored, and again Sam Mubiru for URA scored because they had similar names and they scored on that day. But the Sam Mubiru of URA made the day. Was a veteran and one of the best players I've ever seen, a defender at that. And so it was really nice. And so after that goal, it was 5 minutes to the end. The table now started shifting to this side. And actually, after scoring that goal, I just found myself at the end of the KCCA bench because the goal was scored in that side, that number side where the clock is. We just took off past the KCCA bench and we were there celebrating. Of course, we didn't want to leave because we didn't want to give them time to attack us again and equalize, but we had to come back as per the laws of the game. So we came back, sat, and we were like,
Recompose for only a few more minutes.
let the whistle blow. So we were like this. And actually, the coach then, Mr. Moses Basena, was actually scooting down, holding his feet like this. He had never won a title in his career as a coach. And this was the maiden trophy, the country's biggest trophy, biggest honor. And when the final whistle blew, the next thing he knew, he was up in our arms. It was so joyous to win a title at that moment. Very, very best, because it was against a team I really love to beat. And I'm so happy. The youngsters or the current generation, being led by the team captain Shafiq Kajimu, has not disappointed me.
They're doing the job.
They've shown the bigger yellow, the URA.
I like that. Like he took us back in time.
And
Man. It's beautiful to have a guy who.
Very many of the supporters right now were not following football back then, 2009. Actually, if there are those people who watched that game back then, I don't think the number is even like 10% of the population of people supporting the game right now. So if you actually have the chance to hear it from the horse's mouth, who was actually in action and was there the moment that thing was happening, I think this is why we make this show, for the people to hear
Without a doubt.
how everything was and how everything is supposed to be.
It's a show that is here to help the fans connect with the game. And guys like Alan, I feel like he should be a mainstay on the show because he gives us a lot, especially in terms of the heritage, where the team has been. And he's also a student of the game, so he knows where the game is headed to and probably where the team is going to get to, should they keep on doing the right thing. We are very honored to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Yes. The next question is going to Patrick. Tell me about Joachim's performance against the Kasasiro boys.
You see, I think in football there are just some people who I would like to use the Uganda word, kuwasa. There are some people who just marry certain clubs. I would talk of Shafiq Kajimu. Kajimu if we are to talk of marriage, he married KCCA, he married Vipers. These are teams that he beats whatsoever. Whenever he faces them, he at least has to score them. If you look at the first leg, the match that we won against KCCA, here at Rugo.
On their home turf.
Yes, Shafiq Kajimu scored them. The last game that we won against KCCA before this season, that was the 2018-19 season, we beat them 2-1. Shafiq Kajimu scored them still, and he again scored them here. So it really shows you that if you to talk about teams and certain players, certain things are just meant to happen. Ojira Joakim always does damages whenever he faces KCCA. That Kajimu goal I'm telling you about in the 2018-19 season, Ojira Joakim caused damages in the KCCA defense, and he was brought down in the box. Hence, URA getting a penalty that the captain, of course, converted right from the spot. Even this goal, the goal that we had against KCCA in the first round, the assist was made by Ojira. So it really shows you that Ojira Joakim has something. And I was also happy for him. He's not one who scores the goals. Actually, I was looking at his statistics. Last season, he barely got us a goal, but he has assists. Then this season, a player who does not score a goal, getting on the score sheet, really shows you how good a team like URA is. So this now shows you that everyone can score. None of our strikers got a goal this time now. So if you're seeing midfielders now starting to score, because recently it was always Cromwell Rothomio or Stephen Mukwalo on the score sheets.
The dynamic duo.
That is their role. But now if you have a game where you've won 2-0 and none of your attackers has gotten the goals, it's not bad for the game. It really shows you that when the goals are not coming from your forwards, your midfielders are improvising and getting the job done. Of course, Ojira coming in there with that wonderful header and also playing a very big role in that game in particular. Also, the only goal that we got against Express Football Club when we lost 3-0, Ojira is the guy who brought in the penalty for Mukwala to also convert from the spot. So this entirely shows you he may not be the player who will get you the goals. He will not be the player who will convert the goals, but he's most definitely a player who's going to cause damage to an opponent's defense, and that is his strength. He will run at you. He's always forward when he's making his runs. He's not this guy who's going to reach and then look back to cross the ball back behind. When he reaches you, he wants to run direct into you and make sure that his final ball is into the opponent's dangerous area. That is how, if I don't think we can get that video of our 2-1 win against KCCA here at their home ground in Udogo. It perfectly shows you what Ojira does, that goal that Kajimu scored. He actually ran into the KCCA defenders and crossed the ball to Kajimu to finish off. So for me, I think Ojira has now started. He didn't start off well when the season has just begun, but I think he's now picking up his form. He's
starting to get into his moment.
And that is what we need as a team vying for the title. If you have your players now starting to do what they are meant to do, of course, that is what you need. And also, special mentions to the man of the match for that match, Serui Ivan, who provoked the KCCA midfielders in that match. He actually chased away every KCCA midfielder in that game. He patrolled the midfield alone. He did everything he wanted whatsoever. So, special mentions to him and appreciation really. He had a very good, wonderful game. There, as you can see, is the Ojira goal that he headed in. Ojira, short as he is, to actually head in and score a goal like that, it really shows you that the signs of the trophy are showing. I'm
telling you, and for me, that's the thing that blew me away about that game.
When things start happening, it really shows you that there is something coming up.
There was that. Then there was also the fact that he kept on. They call it drawing in the defenders.
Yes.
Like he would have like 2-3 defenders paying attention to him, and that would open up spaces for the other attackers, and that was damaging.
But that's Ojira, like I told you, he brings the ball at you. So when he's bringing the ball at you, of course, the other defender may think who's going to cover up when he goes by one player. Of course, the second player will come up to also cover the one who's attacked. So that is how it draws up defenders, and there is that space where he puts the ball, and if there is a URA FC player there, it's very easy to convert. and I think that's what we do. The same way we saw that goal Mukwala laid up for Kajimu. You see that we always place the ball at the danger zone, and when he's drifting up, these defenders are always moving up front with the players, leaving a very big hole at the dangerous part of the penalty spot, and that is where we convert.
Our runners come in and they deliver. They do the magic.
Yes.
I love the celebration too. It seems like we have a baby.
That celebration.
A baby in the camp.
That celebration was dedicated to our number 5, Patrick Mbarara, who gave birth to a baby girl.
There's certainly a baby in the camp. I could see that.
We also have a former player of ours. His name is also gave birth to a player, Mugalu Allan. So
on the same day. So
we are having. The boys are doing the job. They are scoring the goals both on pitch and off the pitch.
That's wonderful.
Representing the Dawa over KCCA.
Amazing stuff. Alan, the next question is to you. You know, you talked about Moses Basena and the tension that he was having on that game back in 2009 when they lifted that trophy that is still very valuable to you sentimentally. And you talked about the fact that he was winning his first league trophy as a coach, but you also talked about waxed lyrical about what he was able to do to the players in the camp during that whole season. In a season that was very tight. And fast forward 2021, we have a coach who has, not for the first time, been there doing big things, and he has actually emerged the Pilsner coach of the month. Just how good is Sam Ssimbwa this season?
Well, he's really exceptional, and I like the fact that he has kept calm and come to the ground, because of course he's a prince, but of course he's under URA, so he has to put all the core values of URA in place, especially the ones of URA FC, the FIT E, fair play, integrity, teamwork and excellence. So he's tackled every core value. He makes sure, of course, that the players give him respect. He also makes sure he tells them, let the other team respect us, be mean to them. So he is more of a parent, an experienced coach, more like Jose Mourinho. Respect between you and me, but then again, I need results. So he's so result-oriented, and the boys are now living up to that task. Now, of course, some players may still not live up to the billing. They're looking at him, but they will still follow his instructions, and that's the most important thing. And him as a coach, I believe he'll lead us all the way, because this time round, he has really put his focus into this season.
It is a marathon, and he's doing the right things.
And you can really see whenever the boys celebrate, they come to him, hug him, he lifts them up, which shows that really it's more like a father-son.
Yeah, he has actually been quite animated on the touchline this whole season.
Yeah,
he's striking that figure of a guy who is caught swinging and all. He's in a good moment on the touchline, and that's beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
Patrick, Ssimbwa, how are you finding him?
You see, at first, very many people know Ssimbwa for a guy who's pragmatic in the way he plays. Very many people know him as a guy who actually defends rather than attack. But shockingly, if there is someone who watches our games, you realize that URA FC actually dominates most of the opponents we play against. We dominate the game. So this shows you that when we are dominating the game, we actually have more of the possession. So for a coach, they say is defensive-minded, to actually dominate the game, it shows you that it's not defense anymore. His game has changed. Well, maybe his game back then was a game of defending, because the problem is when people see him conceding less goals, what goes to their mind is he uses a chibas. But in actual sense, when you look at the games that we play, URA Football Club actually dominates these matches. I think the game, even against Express, when we came from halftime, we actually cut off cross we were having a high line. We were at the center of the park, and Express were actually defending with 11 players. So we dominated the whole of the second half. KCCA, if there is anyone who can tell you that KCCA dominated the match, then they surely must be KCCA fans or didn't watch the match.
Or rugby fans.
Yes, a KCCA fan will tell you they dominated. But an honest one will tell you, you know what, URA were much a better side than us. So Ssimbwa's game has changed. He's a coach now who dominates games. He has possession. He actually scores goals. He concedes less. What more can you need from a coach who has everything for his team? A team that scores goals, a team that concedes less, and a team that wins game. Not forgetting we have 2 losses. But of course, all these losses are against an Express FC, who are even below us. Because I would have a problem with Express being above us and have beaten us. But now, it's okay, let them be down, have the 2 wins against URA, because no team is going to have a double against us. Express is the only team that beat us in the first round, so we are not having any double from anyone. Whereas, we have a high task of completing doubles. 1, KCCA FC Plug Team, that one is sorted. Next is Bull, because we had a 2-0 win against Bull away in Bugembe, with Kuala's Breast. Now, tomorrow, we want to complete that, mark our double.
Secure the double.
Then we wait for all those that we beat in the first round to secure our doubles. Then those we did beat in the first round, the likes of Bright Stars, we drew 0-0. The likes of Wakiso Giants, we drew 0-0. Mbarara City, we drew 1-1. They are coming back. We are hosting Mbarara City at the end of this month. We drew 1-1. We also want to get our win. So we want to tick, because right now what we are looking at is we cannot afford to lose any other match. In the first round, we lost only 1 match and managed to be joint table leaders before beating Vipers. So which means if we are to perform to the worst in the second round, we must also lose 1 match, which we have already lost. Because in the first round, if you lost 1 match, the most you should lose in the second round should be 1, which Express already did. Now, all we have to do is fight not to lose any other match. We cannot afford to lose more than what we lost in the first round. We just have to match what we did in the first round, or even do better than that. We collected 36 points in the first round. We want to collect, if we collect more 36, I may say we're on the safer side, but then as you're collecting the 36, what is Vipers collecting? That is something you do not know yet. We want to collect more than 36. If you can collect 40, no problem. That will be 5 less what you're supposed to collect from the 15 games.
And that is something huge.
Yeah.
That's something that we really need to work towards. Let's talk a little bit about the fact that we are still active in all the competitions of this season. We are still on track to, secure as much silverware as we can. Stanbic Bank, Ghana Cup. How did you find that performance? We needed a result, and the boys went in hard.
Yeah, I think Mbarara City was a very tough opponent for URA. If we are to go by history, we had never beaten Mbarara City for over 4 seasons. So this alone shows you that it was not an easy game. To make it even worse, they came at home, we drew 0-0. Meaning, but that wasn't to our advantage, because a goal from us, Mbarara City would need 2 goals. Because as per the competition's rules, it's an away goals competition. So if there's a team that has more away goals, they will of course progress to the next stage. And also the other thing that has helped us this season, I think that is going to help most of the clubs, is it's an home and away affair. Apart from the final is the only game that is going to be a one-game affair, a one-legged affair. But from the round of 32 to the semis, it's a double leg. So if you didn't perform well in the first leg, like us, you can redeem yourself in the second leg. And for us, URA Football Club, we want to win everything. That is our agenda going into every season. Well, the game is the game, and that is sport. You may have your ambitions and it may not come out as you have planned. But for us, we are hungry to go back to continental football. We want to go back and play and represent Uganda in the continent. We have 2 slots. We can go through the Stanbic Uganda Cup. Of course, if you win the Stanbic Uganda Cup, you of course qualify for the CAF Confederations Cup. If you go through the league winners, you qualify and go to the CAF Champions League. We don't have any problem winning both, and then it's FIFA to decide who they are taking for the Confederation. If they want, we can also have Team A for Champions League, Team B for Confederations Cup.
I know we have the squad for it.
We can register URA FC.
we have the squad for it, but hey, the rules are the rules. we need to be nice. Alan, what's your take on where we are at, especially on the cup?
Well, I believe we are chasing the double, because personally I've been a victim. I've lost out on winning the double twice. We won the league title in 2009, like I said, and we lost out at Stanley Cup. By then it was the Bell Cup to Villa 2-1. Next, 2011, we beat after we took the league title, and again lost to Ssimbwa 2-1. Identical results, same stadium. That's why it was at Nachivu. Both finals were at Nachivu Stadium. So, not really comfortable with that place because it doesn't give me good memories. I really love Nambole, but I pray and hope by the time they build it, we'll win a double there. And I'm also praying that the current URA squad does that and changes history and makes us also what? Salons, as they say. Because it really hurts, you'll be double champion and you only take one of the two. But this time round, like the one in my take is, of course, we are gunning for those two titles. As URA FC, we take excellence as the biggest thing. We like some Nigerian song, win, 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 win.
But a ranking.
Exactly, it's a win, win, win. That's our song.
We either win
or we win. So exactly, we win or we win, win or they lose. And it's my humble prayer this time the boys go to the very end.
Just two more things to talk about before we close the show, the 5th episode. One of them is the kids. Like, there's no way we can talk about the kids. I know your phone must be buzzing with orders. Your phone must be buzzing with orders. Talk about the kids. How is it coming along?
First of all, I would like to clarify. The people think people are getting these jerseys for free, more so on Twitter. It is funny how people thought URA Football Club does not have fans. Because everything they say, URA has one fan, our one-man army, the man that is always blowing his trumpet and his vuvuzela.
The legend himself.
Yeah, people actually think that URA Football Club doesn't have a fan. So when they see us having people putting on jerseys, they think we are giving them out for free. No, we're not giving out jerseys for free. People are actually buying these jerseys. Someone today told me, and the person who works at the organization was like, I want to tell you something. I see people getting free jerseys on Twitter. Can I also get? I'm like, my brother, those people buy jerseys. And I was like, I can show you evidence that they actually buy them. I showed him evidence. We don't give these jerseys for free. Whereas there are those that we give out for free, of course, for marketing purposes, for branding purposes. There are those that, but they have criteria. You don't look up one morning and say,
I want a jersey.
Take a jersey is there. No. There's a criteria that is followed. Recently, we put up a quiz of Sewalin or Hamilton, and we asked the question, and whoever answered the question would win a jersey. So we gave out 2 jerseys to the winners. That is a marketing strategy, and we don't just wake up one day and say, okay, Solomon, tomorrow come for a jersey. It doesn't happen like that. So I will of course tell people, this is the white jersey, this is our 3rd choice jersey. The 3rd choice. So we can decide to say we have an away match. We cannot put this at home. We have an away match and we feel like we want to put on the white. And the other team does not also put on white. So we put on the white. Then our 3rd kit is the blue one. Then our away kit is the blue one and the home kit is the yellow kit. So people have brought the jerseys.
The one that has beaten teams.
Yes. People have brought the jerseys and people are still buying. So I would just want to encourage people to go online because some people are, and by the way, it doesn't matter where you are. People have bought jerseys from Musheni, recently we delivered the jersey in Lira. Tomorrow we are delivering more 3 jerseys in Lira. So it shows you that, like URA, of course, we transverse all over the country. So
We are evenly
are,
distributed.
yes, wherever you are, whether you are in Hulu, where, for us we find ways of how the jerseys can reach you. So people can order online.
Patrick, you talked about a quiz and you know people winning jerseys and among other things. And now I'm speaking specifically to that guy who wants to win a free jersey.
Okay.
What should that guy do?
For today, let us reward someone watching the show now. If you're watching the show right now, go to the comment section. I'm going to give the jersey to the first person who comments who scored our goals against KCCA Football Club. Very simple.
Who scored the goals
Against KCCA.
against KCCA FC?
In our former match.
All
first
the person needs to make mention of is one of the scorers.
2 of the scorers, not 1. We won 2-0.
Who scored the 2 goals?
Who scored the 2 goals for URA against KCCA Football Club? A home jersey awaits you. By the way, it will be branded, personalized with whatever you want.
And delivered.
To where you are. For the
Fantastic.
person watching right now, not after the show.
Yeah.
Of course, right now we can even tell who's responding to it. But we shall
Fantastic.
get to know.
But I'm hoping we're also going to have more of such games.
Yeah, of course, we have quizzes. We want to try to see that at least a month we give out 2 jerseys. Depending on how everything, we have a communication strategy. So it's what we follow to help guide us. But there are more jerseys that we are going to give away because you cannot say you have your fans and you don't do giveaways. Even the biggest clubs do giveaways.
I think you also need to remind the viewers that these kits are not replicas. You've said this before.
They are
Say
not
it again.
replicas. People are always telling me, your jerseys are expensive, your jerseys are expensive. Oh God. People buy Manchester United jerseys at 80,000 and they lie them meanwhile that they're originals. Okay, they're African originals, like 4th quality, 3rd quality, from China. But if you go to the Arsenal or Manchester United website and you want to order for a jersey to be shipped to here, you're going to splash something like $120. That is roughly around 300,000, 400,000. But we are selling our quality player replicas. We have only one type of jerseys. The type we have is the type players put on, the type that fans put on. We don't have secondary types. So it's the same type that everyone puts on. That is why they are that much. Plus, people, you're buying a brand, for Christ's sake. It's a brand. I don't want to compare URA with other teams. Of course, respect to other teams. I wouldn't want to compare us with other teams, but this is a brand. That is why we bring high quality
jerseys for high quality fans.
For high quality people. Because our fans, we believe, are high quality. It's not about the money that you have. Actually, I've seen people on Twitter come to buy the jerseys without complaining. And there are people who have the money and they are saying the jerseys are too much. What bothers me most, the people complaining about the price are not the URA FC fans. They are fans of other clubs who probably their jerseys go for 35k and they think because their jerseys go for 35k and they have won more trophies than us, it should also be for 35k. This is now marketing and branding. I can give an example. A season ticket of Arsenal is much more expensive than a season ticket of Manchester United. Let me not go there. I see
Please.
this is trying to change now.
Please, be a very nice human being.
Yeah, but just an example. It shows you that you may find one club is preferably bigger than the other, but the club below actually has its merchandise are much more expensive than the club having much more money. So the trophies does not mean if let me say Kataka FC has 10 trophies and URA has 2, our jerseys should also be lower than that. We sell quality. For us, we are not selling this jersey because of the brand. We are selling first quality. The brand comes in later. Of course, the quality is associated with the brand. As URA, we cannot bring jerseys that are going to keep on enlarging. You wash it, you put it on today, it's like this. You wash it, then it's as big as a sack. No.
quality begets quality.
Exactly.
That's just what it is. Alan, we have just a handful of games to go, and this is probably going to be the parting shot. We have just a couple of games to go, about 15 or less, and there are some good quality games in there that every fan should really wait for with bated breath. Which one of these games are you really looking at as a fan now and a former captain of the club? Which are those games that you always wait for and you have that thing of we need to kill these ones? I know we've already killed KCCA, so that one is off. Just tell us about 2 or 3 other games that you're really waiting for eagerly.
Well, of course, the big one is the clash of the Titans, URA Vipers. Of course, at a ground that is really nice for us, St. Mary's Stadium, Chitende. Then Villa, not that much really. Yeah, but the other third game would be not a particular team, but these small teams that have been giving us headache, Mbarara City and the like, because when we won the titles, those are the teams that give us the titles. Because when you look at the big teams, Express, KCCA, Villa, when you get a draw, a loss, win from them, those are big teams, well established. But these are small ones, it's a must win, because they're the ones that give away the title. So we'd love to go en route to the Vipers game when we're at a good spot. Yeah, but basically it's Vipers, maybe now of course Villa being the most successful team, because that's of course where we want to head as URA FC. Then in brackets those small teams starting with tomorrow actually, because actually on the training ground we have 13 games left. We look at someone shirt number 13, we tell him that number is only going for. Then 12 games up to when we would reach 7 games, when we know now. It's now countdown to the title.
To the wire.
Yeah, the countdown would be like we see a Capital FM Hot 8 at 8, so no single figure. It's to the wire. Still double, but we need to win, then now start closing off. So that by the time the clash gets us, the big one, Reds against the Yellows. I know the Yellows will shine bright, go really. As
we close the show, we are going into this game tomorrow against a team that you've said we need to get a result of. What are your expectations? What are you looking forward to? Well, I'll get one from you and one from Pato, and we shall call it a wrap.
Being led by Mr. Shafiq Kajimo, because I'm seeing boys have great cohesion and they're starting to get that winning mentality. Actually, what will take us a long way, what took us a long way in the past is now starting to reflect. Patrick mentioned it. Goals start coming out of nowhere. People who really score start scoring, and you start seeing those signs. Then now we couple it up with mental toughness. And moving forward to that fixture, of course against Vipers, that will be a day I would want to remember. Today I would want to come out victorious, because sometime I was victorious on the day that happened to be my birthday, 19th April, in St. Mary's Stadium, winning 2-1. And I hope this time round in 2021, we destroy them and hope to say goodbye to COVID, or at least we'll celebrate the joy
in a beautiful way.
That day at that stadium. I'm looking forward to that moment, but of course right before that moment, we ought to have sung the song.
We need to secure
points, reach there and set off, because I know it will come at a time where we'll be left with around 6 games, 6 to 7 to go, which is a single figure I've been talking about. So I want us to dethrone the Vipers, actually defang the Vipers.
We kill off the little teams, then we go and defang the Vipers at a point when it matters the most.
Exactly, to show them that we are the men in charge.
Win, win, win is the song. Pato Rankin.
Yep.
Pato, your namesake sang a good song.
You know?
What do you have to tell us as we, get into this game against Bull? Parting shots.
What we need to do is just do what we did against KCCA. If we do what we did against KCCA, we are headed for victory. And that is what we need to do as a team.
Get in there, play safe at the back, dominate the midfield, create dangerous opportunities up front, secure the win.
At the back, prolific in the midfield, and damaging at the front. If we do that, there is no team that is going to survive the tax collector.
You make it sound easy, brother.
It's very easy when you're associated with URA.
We are going to tax these teams without a doubt.
Yeah.
That has been episode 5 of the URA FC Plug. We've been very, very honored to have all of you viewing in, and it's been a fantastic conversation with Pato and Allan. we want to have you on the show more often.
Yeah, sure.
We do hope you'll make the time.
Thank you.
From all of us at URA FC Plug,